If it look like you can fit it, then you better go and get it. We go and get
a belt extender.
I am also going to use Southwest customer size policy when I can because they are getting rid of it.
Attaboy, Southwest.
If you need extra seats, you should fly first class.
I love how all of this, and she still would never consider that maybe the fact that she's like 500 pounds is the problem. You are literally drowning from the inside in your own lard, and you're worried about parking meter stickers.
Your organs are trying to tell you something. This is the body's way of telling you, like, we're dying. Stop eating so much.
And I don't get them. I've been here all day making costumes for you when you were down the road eating. Stop eating. That's why you're fat.
Hey guys, welcome back to Normal Gaze, where we take on LGBT insanity. I'm Brad Polumbo here with Clarkson Lawson.
What's up, guys? We haven't even recorded it yet, but we're going to be dropping a members only this weekend where we respond back to your unhinged, we're going to respond back unhinged to the things you need advice on. So make sure you join as a member. Brad's going to put the link in the comments.
In the meantime, we need to get some loving and tolerant and kind wisdom from Clarkson on the trials and tribulations of the body positive community. So we're going to check in with our favorite TikToker, Samyra, who is queen of body positivity, I guess. And
I think I know who this is.
She's going to tell us about her terrible experience with Southwest Airlines.
I got a heart attack.
We're just going to play the tiniest violin for her. Let's watch.
On today's episode of If It Look Like You Can Fit It, then you better go and get it. We go and get
a belt extender.
I am also going to use Southwest customer size policy when I can because they are getting rid of it.
Pause. The context, I know, right? Attaboy, Southwest. The context, guys, is that the Southwest customer of size policy is that they get free seats. They get a free second or even third seat if they're super fat. And they're sunsetting that policy.
Yeah, because then they realize that like all Americans are super fat, so they're all going to get an extra seat.
Abby, your size nor your mouth intimidate me.
Whatever.
And that they should and can make them pay for it if they need extra seats.
Yeah, if you need extra seats, you should fly first class. Tall people don't get extra seats.
But let's go, come on.
So I won't be able to use the customer size policy today.
There's no seats available. You can't oversell the flight to accommodate you. And you have to get a second seat. You will have to cancel your ticket, and then you'll have to book with another airline.
Bags I just paid for, would they be refunded as well?
So
I don't understand what the problem is.
This attendant is like, we're not going to oversell the flight to accommodate you. Oh my God, I love 2025. 2020
I just don't understand. There's no seats for you. I don't get it. The flight's full.
They should eject someone from the flight, kick them out, cancel their seat. I love how all of this, and she still would never consider that maybe the fact that she's like 500 pounds is the problem.
No, it's never her fault. She needs a belt extender. She needs an extra seat. She probably has both meals. I bet you when she orders, she gets 2 sodas because she's like, I have 2 seats and 2 cheese plates and 2 meals because it's gluttonous. Everything is gluttonous.
What takes 4 of you against little old me? Not little, sweetheart. Not little. Are you pregnant? Oh, shut your country up. Your stomach looks like mine.
I don't like this girl.
So the thing is, the seats themselves are kind of small. Like, I understand. You might not be that fat and you might still not fit super comfy in one seat. I am long and lanky, so I have a hard time. But the seat belts, they actually extend quite a bit. So if you can't fit in the seat belt, if you have to get an extender, that alone should be like a gut check. What? Oh, gut check.
A gut check, yeah.
No. It should be like a wake-up call.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, so even I spill over, like my shoulders are very wide. So like when I was flying, I had to fly coach on the way back from Phoenix, and I was spilling over into the person next to me. We were like 2 big guys. So I have my own qualms with like airlines packing us in like sardines when you have to fly coach. In the same respect, like, you're way bigger than me, girl. That's a choice. I don't complain about it, you know? If I'm taking steroids to get big, I'm not going to complain.
Mine is not a choice, just being very long and tall and not fitting in the seat. But I've never gotten a free seat. But hers being a choice because she just won't put down the fork. That's free seat o'clock.
Where's Delta?
Oh
Southwest let me know they were unable to accommodate my size today.
Oh my God, text. At this point, I wanted to cry.
She did not want to cry. She was so excited that she's going to milk this for views. She probably knew that the flight was booked. I'm not even kidding. Because
I love
she
when
like
influencers act so sad about something bad happening, but you know they're thrilled because they're going to make content. Milk.
Like I remember she went into. I know. No, she went into, I remember there was a video where she like went into Target complaining about like their plus sizes and how like XXL isn't plus size or something like that. And I remember I made a video about it and all my fat followers got mad at me. Look, I'm sorry. I don't care if public opinion is not on my side. If something doesn't have quadruple XL and that's what you need, don't shop there and go and get on a treadmill and get a dietitian.
I have size 14 feet, which I have to custom order all my shoes. And that's not even a choice, but I have never thought like, oh wow, I'm so oppressed because they don't carry 14s in stores because it doesn't make sense. It's so rare. In the same way, in theory, maybe not in practice these days, but being 500 pounds should be so rare, or 400 pounds more realistically, probably not 500.
Well, I think that's because most of this comes from a victim mentality that masks personal responsibility. Like you don't need to take responsibility for your big feet because you didn't choose to have them. But if they don't play the victim, they're forced to realize that they are the product of their own choices. So they're like, okay, let me just be oppressed.
So I'm wondering if you all have any first class seats available to New Orleans today.
The only seat that I have is that one, the bulkhead, row 1.
Okay. Thank you so much. I have tickets to the Saints game tomorrow.
Did she pay for that first class seat?
Presumably, yeah. There's no way Delta would give her a free seat because of Southwest's issue.
Yeah. I mean, good for her. She finally paid for a seat. You know what I mean?
And she paid for a seat she can fit in. What a crazy concept.
She didn't go to Delta and ask them to accommodate her with an extra free seat. So why is she acting like Delta did the nice thing here where you just went to Delta and asked for a bigger seat? She could have just asked for a first class seat on... Oh, wait, Southwest doesn't have first class seats.
I guess not.
That makes sense.
This is the statement she put out on Instagram after. This is what she sent to Southwest.
Thank you for reaching out. I want to be transparent that my concern here is not about my individual reservation or revisiting ticketing details. My concern is how plus-size passengers are treated and perceived by Southwest, particularly in light of changes to your customer size policy. Plus-size people already experience heightened anxiety when traveling. Yeah, no, you have to walk a lot. That is precisely why Southwest implemented a customer of size policy in the first place, because you are all well aware that air travel can be physically and emotionally fraught for plus-size passengers, especially when it comes to requesting seatbelt extenders or advocating for personal safety and comfort. Okay, before I finish the rest, they did not implement the customer of size policy because you had anxiety at the airport. They implemented it because you were spilling over into other passengers' seats, and they think it would be a better experience for those passengers who were complaining about sitting next to you to just give you the extra seat for free.
And to be woke. They also did it to be woke.
Well, no, that's like when companies say we're going green, bring your own cups, but really it's just for them to save money on cups. It's the same thing. Like they don't actually mean the woke stuff. They're just doing it because it's better business-wise, and then now it's costing them money. That's why they're pulling it back. Anyways, against that backdrop, the treatment I received at the airport, including dismissive language and tone, was difficult. However, what most clearly highlighted the issue for me occurred afterward. After I shared my experience publicly, a Southwest flight attendant who openly associates themselves with the airline on social media left the following fatphobic comment on my video.
Let me read this. The fact that no one wants to take accountability for the size or their eating habits in this comment section is crazy work, but go off. Delta would love to have you.
Oh my God.
This girl ate down, this flight attendant.
Then she says, this is deeply concerning. Flight attendants are the primary point of contact for passengers who need assistance, including plus-size travelers who may need to request seatbelt extenders or other accommodations. When an employee feels comfortable publicly shaming fat people while representing Southwest, it raises serious questions about internal training, expectations, and accountability. Oh my gosh, this is so long,
She
Brad.
then sent a list of questions/demands, demanding to know number one, what training Southwest provides regarding size inclusivity and weight-based bias. 2, what expectations and guidelines exist for employee conduct when publicly representing the airline? And 3, how Southwest plans to ensure that the implementation of its evolving customer of size policy does not continue to result in increased stigma, inconsistency, or harm to plus-sized passengers.
Where was the harm? Where was the harm?
The harm is them not getting free extra.
This girl makes me so angry. She really thinks that she's like making a difference in this world, and she thinks she can demand how much is Southwest worth? Like, you think that you can demand this airline to be accountable for their actions? Like, who do you think you are?
I think it's wild. It's the epidemic of entitlement in the country. Nobody want to take personal responsibility. Ultimately, I do believe it's your body and your life. And if you want to choose to be morbidly unhealthy and morbidly obese, okay.
Sure. I mean, yeah, like I choose to inject steroids. That's not good for, well, it depends on how much I inject, and that's debatable. But I would say that it's not good for me, but that doesn't mean I walk around entitled because of my choices as if they're out of my control.
You have the right to make your choices, but you don't have the right to extra privileges and free stuff in the name of equality after you make bad decisions. Did you see the parking meter thing that she did? Oh my God, watch this.
Why is there diet culture on the parking meters? Why do we have on the parking meter, sometimes I diet, don't feed me on the following holidays? Why are we promoting fat phobia and diet culture, even on the parking meters in LA? It gets to a point. It really does get to a point. This is an issue and this needs to be fixed. West Hollywood, this is actually disgusting.
Okay, so anyway.
It's like her, like internally, it's all like accountability is screaming at her internally. And she has so many triggers because it's trying to tell her, like, this is the body's way of telling you, like, we're dying. Stop eating so much.
Stop eating. That's why you're fat.
But instead, she just gets on Instagram and profits off of it. Like your brain is, you're being triggered because your brain is trying to tell you something. Listen to it, girl.
You are literally drowning from the inside in your own lard, and you're worried about parking meter stickers.
Your organs are trying to tell you something with that sticker.
You are such a fat bitch. This is no time for eating.
I think this is like a prime example of woke dying, but going down kicking and screaming.
Someone like her will never learn, unfortunately.
No, I mean, but I think that culturally, she's freaking out because nobody gives a anymore.
On TikTok, which obviously skews left, people were not buying the parking meter fat phobia thing. But guys, let us know what you think. Do you side with Samyra or the normal gays? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to the like button. Become a channel member to support our work. And we'll be back with more normal gays real soon.